Hi everyone, very happy new year from the Gold Coast, Australia. My name is Esther and this is what I love to do. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy today's session. It is pouring with rain outside. Yeah, it stormed all night. Thunder and lightning, and this morning so much rain, and it is pouring at the moment. I don't mind the rain at all, but it has caused some flooding and a lot of damage. The lightning and the thunder and the wind has caused a lot of damage throughout the Gold Coast with loss of life as well. So it's nice for some and it's not nice for others. We're going to get on with this larger beauty here, and I hope you enjoy today's session. We're still doing the foreground here. I've not decided on this open area here. I really don't know what to do with it. Sort of just there. I do have an idea. I might do it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in these areas here so that there's a continuity of design. So let's get started, and I really hope you enjoy. You can use a ruler for this if you like. Really doesn't matter. It always turns out good. Yeah. Looks a lot like the background, doesn't it? It will change. I've been trying something as well. I'll show you. I'm trying to do something. I wasn't able to record this when I was doing this because it's impossible with a 3-year-old here. So I thought I'll try something with just a couple of patterns. But when I come back and do another big one and record it and just use a couple of patterns instead of all of these patterns here. And so I was just trying it, and I'll see how it goes, and if I like it I'll do a big one with just a couple of patterns. In the meantime, this is like pattern, pattern, pattern. But I like it, and I think you do too. Well, I hope you do. And let me continue here, and thank you. Excuse me. For my new subscribers and all the comments, I really appreciate. So what we do here is we fill in the corners, which always looks fabulous. Try not to rush. It's a nice relaxing exercise. And it's a very peaceful thing to do, this patterning. You may have called it something else when you were younger. For those that are older, It's had many different names throughout the ages. Patterning, penning, drawing. At the moment, the hip name to use is Zen, which I understand because it's very, very relaxing, slows your mind down. Oops. I always say that looks nice just like that, but for this exercise, we're not going to do that. And then you just very simply fill in the corners with your black pen. As I say, I had my 3 grandchildren here overnight, and it was just not possible for me to record anything. But they've gone home now, and so I've got peace and quiet. They're good. They're good kids, though. Really, don't cause any trouble at all. But as they were leaving, I said, "Have you got your iPads?" Yes. "Have you got your phones?" Yes. "You sure?" Yep. Got everything. And what do I find? A phone and an iPad. So my daughter has to drive here again to get it later on. Yeah. And there's been a threat of flooding where my son has his gym, his jiu-jitsu studio. We hope it doesn't flood because he's only just in the last month opened it, and he did know it was in a flood area, so he made provision. The mats can simply be lifted up if it does flood. I mean, it takes a lot of water to flood, so we're hoping that they're hoping that it's not too much, because when I say flooding, I don't mean 6 inches of water. I mean 4 foot of water came through in the last floods, and so it was devastating. But he's made provision for that. In other words, they're aware, and the jiu-jitsu mats can just be lifted. Yes, it'll cause damage, but it can be avoided to a certain degree. The damage can be limited. So I hope it doesn't get to that point. A heap of rain here, but he's an hour away, an hour and a bit away, in a place called Murwillumbah, which is New South Wales. This is Queensland. But the rain is widespread. So I hope it doesn't reach and destroy his gym. It would be quite sad. It's only been open a month or so. Oh, they look lovely. Just move your page around as you're doing it. Try not to rush this. You have all the time in the world. You know it's going to take many hours to complete. So by rushing now, it's really not going to make a dent in the time it takes to complete these exercises or creations. So there's no use rushing. The pen is digging a little bit into this paper. I really must source some different paper. Typing paper's been the best so far. But the typing paper doesn't come large. Well, I suppose you can get the large ones, but I'm not going to buy a whole ream of paper, that's for sure. And if you can hear that thunder, doesn't that look lovely? Very tempted to continue. Very tempted. Could do another shell here. I could do another shell here. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. We get the very thin one for this, and it's just a little line, couple of dots. Where is it? There it is. I might fill that one in actually, it's too narrow. What I'm doing is a line and 3 dots. And if you can see that, a line and 3 dots. You go all the way along, gives it quite a nice feel. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then what I've been doing is this on the edge. Just gives it a little bit of a three-dimensional effect. These spots can be a little bit bigger. It sounds like a little bit of hail. Okay. I'll take the pen that I was using. I'll take a 2. I'll do a couple of lines in this one. There. Round off the edges. And fill in those corners with your black pen. It looked great. I really like that look. And then we've got this one as well. Beautiful. It's raining really hard now. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it is pouring. I'll turn that page around a little bit like that. And that look fabulous. We've got this little area here. It's only a small area, but it's just as important as the rest of the work. So that's a 2. I think I'll take a 3. A 3. There it is. I know there are lots of different patterns that I could have put in here instead of these circles, but I'm trying to make it a bit more structured. And you can do things with a different pattern in each section. That's fine. But I think with fewer patterns in one work, it does look beautiful. I mean, it looks beautiful, whatever you do. That's the beauty of Zen patterning, Zen tangle. It's just a beautiful form of art. And it's always guaranteed to look fabulous. I'm just trying to fix that circle. It's not very circly. Come on, Esther. What's going on? Get a grip. And then we've got to decide on the background. Now there's going to be a challenge because you want to be able to see the foreground. And if you bombard it with a myriad of patterns in the background, I think it'll lose the effect. So I'm trying to decide, as I'm working here, I'm thinking, what am I going to do for the background? Because you don't want to lose the effect of the foreground and background. It's a different area. You don't want to lose that. I'm just not sure. No, I haven't got dirty nails. Looks as if I have, but it's not dirt. It's soil. Because I've been doing a little bit of gardening as well in between the rain. That soil there, and it's stained the nails, so it's not dirty, in case any of you are thinking, ew, but it's not dirt. So I'd explain that, because I looked at it and I thought, ew. But it's soil, guys, so excuse me. then do some smaller circles just to fill in the edges. It also looks nice too. Wow, doesn't that look fabulous? It's just this little area here. I have decided there's not going to be anything drastic. I just need there not to be so much white space. So wherever you think this doesn't look right in your head, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. Always believe in your instincts. So with these, just work on it until you feel completely satisfied. And look at each little section, not just as a whole. I mean, as a whole, it's perfect. Look at each little section. So you think, that doesn't look right, I'll do this. That doesn't look right, I'll do that. And that's the way to just perfect what you've done. And try not to rush. Because that's when you make mistakes, like I've just made, but I'm going to fix it up right now. So it was a simple thing, a simple fix. And if any of the lines are not as perfect as you would like them to be, then you just fix it up as you go. What I usually do is go over the whole thing. Oops. Line by line virtually. Now what is wrong is that this line isn't thick enough, this one here, so I'm going to go over that line. Go slowly so that I don't mess it up. Yes, doesn't that look beautiful? Anything you don't like, you just fix it up. So that's the foreground. And that looked beautiful. I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. I hope you all like it. I'm sure you do. Mm-hmm. Having a look around. No, you can't fix everything up. I could spend another hour fixing up every single little bit. But that's what I do. But just because I do it doesn't mean you have to do it. But it does relax me making everything perfect. It certainly does. Well, not perfect. As perfect as a handmade thing can be. Let me see what the time is. 41 minutes. That's the foreground. Isn't it beautiful? It really is beautiful. I would say that's almost as beautiful as the first one that I did. My very, very first one. I'll show you the very, very first one I did of these. It's that one. And I love doing it. That was the face, if you remember. The face that we did. But that was the very first one. And this is in the same, because I like that feel so much. We did it that way. But, so I'm very happy about how this has turned out. Now we have to decide on the background, because the background cannot detract. Cannot detract. Just detract. Yep, that's good. From the foreground, because you don't want that to happen. It would be a shame to not see this clearly. I'm going to close this video now. Get myself some lunch and a cup of tea maybe, and decide on a background. I'm going to have to give it a lot of thought, but I'll come back and we'll do that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. Thank you very much. Bye for now. See you later.